Welcome to the Rutherford School District's Parent Academy presentation, Navigating Teens and Tweens. Our goal is to understand what is happening in our children's developing brains and how we can best support them through these transitional years. Before we dive into the biology, let's look at the big picture. What is your end goal as a parent? Ultimately, parents want to raise self-reliant, productive individuals who want their children to grow into capable partners, leaders, colleagues, teammates, and be contributing members of society. To reach that goal, we have to understand the biology that comes with teens and tweens. Did you know that the child's brain is still growing through their teen, tween, and early 20s? Specifically, the prefrontal cortex, or the CEO of the brain, is still developing. This area is the area responsible for adulting. Skills like impulse control, problem solving, organization, emotional regulation, and future planning all fall within the prefrontal cortex. So, what do those skills look like? Dr. Lisa Demore will speak to when behaviors are considered common or typical and when there's time for alarm.
Dealing with an adolescent mental health crisis. We are seeing more kids who are suffering from anxiety and depression than we've seen in the past. But it is also true that we're sometimes confusing normal teenage moodiness with a mental health concern. So the fact of the matter is that in teenagers, moods go up and down, and in teenagers, moods are more pronounced. They feel their highs more intensely, and they feel their lows more intensely than people of other ages. So the key question becomes when to worry. When do you worry about your teenager? So there's two things to look out for. One is if their mood isn't all over the place, if they are low and they stay low, if they're cranky and they stay cranky, if they're blank and down and they don't bounce back up, that's a time to be concerned. And teenagers' moods change quickly. 24 hours, 36 hours for a teenager to be really, really low is pretty unusual. So you know your kid and you want to pay attention to that. The other time to be concerned is what we call costly coping, when teenagers are managing their moods in a way that's going to come at a cost to them. So if a teenager is upset and they have a good cry and it helps them feel better, that's a good thing. It brings relief and does no harm. If a teenager is upset and turns to substances to manage their distress, that's ground for concern. Or if they are hard on everyone around them because they're upset, or if they take it out on themselves, we worry. So the bottom line is, it's perfectly expectable that teenagers are going to have highs and lows, and sometimes they're pretty intense, but we expect them to move through it pretty quickly or to manage it in a way that is adaptive and healthy and won't come at a cost.
For the purpose of this presentation, we will go through some of the daily behaviors that we see within our teenage and teenagers. Green will indicate those that are typical, while red, less typical. At times, parents may describe their teens and tweens as combative. The green represents the typical, whereas the red is less typical. It may look like forgetful behaviors. It is important to note that sleep deprivation presents itself as forgetfulness at times. Social media use or technology use are huge correlators to sleep deprivation. Teens and tweens are on their phone more than any time in our history and are losing sleep. Sleep is a key time for students and children to grow and for cells to repair themselves. Teen behaviors may look like they are messy or disorganized, or unable to plan, or take initiative, or understand how their actions have consequences or impact those around them. So, as we navigate parenting, it's important to understand our role. Our teens and tweens can't function as effectively as the parent's brain. The parent's role is to help bridge the gap. And what does that look like? Filtering distractions, time mapping, and emotional regulation are all ways parents help fill that gap in their child's development. There are times where a parent's ability to intervene is not enough. And if at any time you believe that your child is a threat to themselves or you fear the safety of others because of your child, you must call 911 immediately. If a child demonstrates behaviors that are in the red and you are looking for support, pediatricians are often the first means of support for your family. Pediatricians have already established a relationship with your child and family and allow for them to have conversations, explore medical issues, and provide guidance. Therapists are available and trained to work specifically with children who are struggling with mental or behavioral health. Therapists are also available to help support parenting or family dynamics to promote positive behavioral and mental health within families. Beyond the individual therapists, agencies are available to provide a plethora of resources, education, and response for families in need. For this presentation, CBH Care has provided a significant number of resources for our parents in the Rutherford School District. These resources will be uploaded onto our webpage and include resources for both proactive care for children as well as response and mobile crisis information should your child be in need of additional support. Your time attending this presentation is appreciated. Happy parenting.